Welcome to TV20 Classic Sports. I'm your host, Christian Patterson. From all-star matchups to championship games, we've reached into the vault to bring back a part of Cleveland history. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of TV20 Classic Sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 1994 Cleveland Browns Muni Football Championship games. We're here at John Marshall Field. I'm Chris Ortiz along with my partner Tim Wells, and this is the 75th anniversary of the Muni Football League. And Tim, a little special tonight, dedication to Wiley Farrier. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, first of all, Chris, it is a very special night. We've talked about this now being 75 years of the Cleveland Browns Muni Football, but also they've lost their past president this past year, so they're dedicating these games to Wiley Farrier Sr., who really was involved in the league for over 35 years. And as we go through the evening, we're going to hear a little bit about Wiley.
Okay, Tim, and in game one, in the Peewee game, we have the Glenville A's, and they'll be opposed by Pal 6. Both teams 6-2 during the regular season. Pal 6 coached by James Walker, Glenville by Clay Thompson. Tell us a little bit about Pal 6, strengths, weaknesses.
Well, first of all, Pal 6 comes in as the defending champion. They are going to try to run the football, but they also can throw it. Both coaches, when we talked to them before the game, I said, what is the key to winning the game? And they both made one agreement perfectly clear in their first key: field position. Whoever has field position here tonight, both coaches feel that that team will win the football game. I believe that the Glenville A's, number one, must effectively run the football. They do not have the throwing game that Pal 6 is capable of, so Glenville's going to need to run it. And also, Chris, during the year, one of the things that we noticed about Glenville is they kind of created some turnovers. They recovered some fumbles. They caused some interceptions, some punt returns. Special teams, some special plays are going to happen tonight for Glenville to have a chance to win.
Okay, we look at the stats, Tim, both teams very, in the top 5 on offense, both teams in the top 5 on defense. So we have a pretty good even matchup game here this evening. Tim, we had a chance to catch up with one of the pioneers of the league, a guy that coached against Wiley Farrier, King Thompson. Let's listen to this.
We're here with one of the arch rivals from years ago of Wiley Farrier, Mr. King Thompson. He was a coach, and he knew Wiley when he first started back in the late 50s. First of all, King, tell us something. Going against him on Sunday, what kind of things do you expect from Wiley?
A well-prepared team. Wiley was one of the most coaches that he prepared the team better than anybody I ever known. The kids were schooled, and it was a very simple approach to football. He believed in the most simple thing is block and tackling. He didn't have a complex, multiple situation. And when you played Wiley, you brought your lunch because he kept you overtime.
What about the arch rival coach versus Wiley Farrier? What were your feelings between you and Wiley?
Oh, we were always friends. Wiley and I from the very beginning were friends. I knew Wiley outside of football. Wiley was a Cleveland policeman for many years, and he's always had himself involved in some manner helping kids, which took him into coaching. Wiley was an excellent coach, and he was an excellent strategist. And it was always fun to compete against him because you never could take anything for granted. You had to work hard and prepare your team. He made you do that.
What can you tell our viewers about Wiley the person?
He was a man who believed in principle and ethics, and he pursued that in his coaching. It was obvious. He believed in discipline. He was a very strong disciplinarian like we have always tried to be. Wiley was a great inspiration to a lot of coaches in this league, whether anybody wanted to realize it or not.
Obviously, with 40 years being around kids, he had a big impact on kids. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Wiley's situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great impact. Wiley made a lot of kids better. He made kids that were halfway good, all the way good. I mean, he was the kind of person who gave up himself, gave his money, he gave him time. And a tremendous amount of people in this town today who are grown and successful owe it to Wiley, or a lot to Wiley Farrier.
Okay, well, we've heard it from the arch rival. We'll have a couple others when we come back after this timeout. Okay, we're here for the player introductions of the Peewee Championship game here. The Glenville A's are in blue and Cal 6 is in red.
Camera one. Shoulder to shoulder as they feel. No, one. Now get the kids as they come in shoulder to shoulder. Get the kids that are already lining.
Number 24, Louis Jones.
Camera two, I already have that shot. Give me something else. Give me them before. Get in. No, the other side. Swing to
Number 84, Victor.
One, take one.
Number 71, Shepard.
Stand by two, take two.
Number 35, David
Stand by
Rocco.
three, take three. Stand by two, take two.
Number 40, Michael Townsend. Number 21, Steven Sanders. Number 47, Darnell Wilson. Number 50, John Warner. Number 56, Bailey Swapside. Number 62, Ronnie Hayes. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's championship game will conclude the 75th year that the Cleveland Muni Football Association has been in existence, dating back to its inception in 1920. It is only fitting that we now take a moment to honor the memory of our late president, Mr. Wiley Farrier. Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of silence, please. And now, we will have our national anthem by Mr. Joe Dobay.
Well, Chris, it looks like we're ready just about for the coin toss. But before we do that, that was Joey Dobay. He is a student in the Cultural Arts program over at Cadell Recreation, performing the saxophone under the direction of Mr. Joe DeJarnay. Well, let's take a look at the officials on the left. You're going to see Mike Jones. Again, this is a veteran crew. He's been around a number of years. Also, the veteran members of the crew, Al Siamaka, over 30 years of service. In the middle is John Jones. He'll be our head referee here tonight. Next to him is Melvin Galloway. And on the far right is Dan Walunas. We'll go in, Chris, now and listen for the coin toss as we look at John Jones. The head referee, again, in the blue will be the Glenville A's. Formerly, a lot of the people that have been around Muni football for years will know him as Academs. And on the right, as you mentioned, Pal 6, the defending champion in red and white.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for tonight's game.
To receive,
Head referee,
playing defense. Fellas, shake hands, keep your mouthpieces in at all times.
Field judge, Mike Jones, and back judge, Mr. Melvin Galloway.
We're on the 35.
Everybody over here! Everybody over here!
You know, Chris, while we're waiting for the start of the game, maybe just a couple of things for the viewers. There'll be 7-minute quarters. There will not be kickoffs. The teams will be starting on the 35-yard line. Both teams come in with an identical record of 6-2. And again, the head coach, James Walker, was here last year. He's a graduate of Kennedy High School for Pal number 6. And on the other side for the Glenville A's, Clay Thompson, a long history, played in the league, now coached. Also, when he played in the league, it was under King Thompson, when we just heard about his views on Wiley Farrier, as well as on that same team The Honorable Mayor Michael White played with Clay.
First down.
No problem. He's ready.
Again, we look at the defense for the Glenville A's, and they are playing a 4-3 defense. And right after this play, we'll let you know who the starters are. Again, Chris, you can see that the PAL 6 running game was off tackle. And we'll take a look at the replay right here. Again, you can see nice block by 56. And again, give him credit. You can see a little speed, puts his head down, pick up, first down, PAL 6. Chris, while we have a moment, the starting defense for the Glenville A's. At left defensive end is Terrence Hudson, number 90. Charles Boyner is the left tackle. Nate Henderson, number 72, right tackle. And defensive end on the right side will be Lonnie Wright.
by Michael Townsend and Lawrence Wilson. First down, midfield. Tackle by Darryl Elton.
Well, we can see here, Chris, early that the Glenville A's have come out to establish the run. And obviously field position is going to play a role here. Take a look here at the end of the replay. And again, you can see the line of the Glenville A's has played a big role. And Steve Sanders is one of their big players. He's a fifth grader out of Wade Park School. He had 3 touchdowns this year, and to get his team to the championship, 65-yard run on the very first play against Sims, and that was the difference in the ball game. Well, you can see both teams are effectively running the ball to the left. So the linemen for the Glenville A's come out here, and again, they get to the outside. And Clay Thompson had told us if they're going to run the football, they're going to need to get outside as well as inside. They have to keep the Pal 6 defense honest. So we're looking here at the Glenville A's. Again, coming in here on Pal 6. They run to the sweep to the right. They're looking to get to the outside. It's number 20. Ridden out of bounds by number 22 from Pal number 6. Again, it was Jason Harris knocking out number 20. Roderick Hall, the quarterback. Oh, we'll take a look here at the replay, and you can see it's a little fake inside, and he's looking strictly outside. Again, we're trying to see his speed, but you can see the Pal 6 defense. It was number 22, Jason Harris, would have nothing to do with it as they knock him out of bounds, making it second down and about 4. Again, we are on the 15, 16-yard line going in. 17 seconds to go in quarter number 1 with no score. And we're going to have our first call by an official.
That's dead ball on the offense.
See your preliminary indication. Goes against the offense.
Okay, we're going to have a second down and 9. And here's the call, and nothing there. Defense comes up big for the Pal 6 team. That was number 92, DeAndre Paul. Nice play, broke through the offensive line there.
Well, we'll take a look at it, Chris, and you can see here the penetration. Again, the Pal 6 defense. Number 6 comes up to give some support, but it was the defensive end from Pal number 6, Ronald Folds, that came up with the big hit, and Levon Thornton.
And Tim, that is the end of the first quarter with no score here at John Marshall between the Glenville A's and Pal 6. Tim, we talked about in the pregame show the matchup to watch in the running game. Jason Walker from Pal number 6. And Steven Sanders, we've seen a lot of him already here in the first quarter, number 21 for the Glenville A's. And this is something we talked about. And sure enough, both coaches come out with the running game.
Don't let nobody get
Well, Chris, one of the things is we're listening here to the huddle and see if we can pick up what the coaches tell. Okay, we see Pal 6 going on. But Chris, before the ball game, when we talked to Clay Thompson, I asked him, I said, what concerns you if you get in any kind of situation? He said, listen, we cannot run into a second and long and third and long. We need to play possession-type football and control the clock. That was one of the first plays that we've seen Pal 6 get some penetration and force that situation on the Glenville A's.
While they had a 3rd and 12 on their first drive, picked up 11 on fourth down, came up a yard short. But you're right, Tim. He said he does not want it. But then again, any head football coach will tell you that we don't want to get in 3rd and long. So that's when the defensive linemen pin their ears back. Okay, we're about ready to begin the second quarter. 3rd down and 8, ball up to 21. Handoff to Sanders. Not much there. Takes it down to about the 19-yard line. Pickup of 2. Going to have a 4th down and 6.
Well, we've been calling Sanders' name so far early here in the ball game. Going into this quarter, 6 carries for 18 yards, an average of 3 yards a crack. And I know when we talked to James Walker, he said, listen, we've got to stop number 21. He is the guy. We want to stop their running game. We want to force the Glenville team to throw the football. And so far early in the ball game, it has not happened.
We're going to call it a pickup of 1, so it'll be 4th down and 7. They got to get the ball to about the 13-yard line. 6:15 to play. Second quarter, we got a flag. Throws, and it's caught. That's Sanders. 15, out at the 12-yard line. It may be a first down, but let's see what the flag is. And it's a legal motion. It's going to come back. Nice throw by Roderick Hall. He hit Steven Sanders coming out in the flat. They picked up the first down, but it's coming back. A little windy up here in the booth.
Well, Chris, right now we have a Glenville A's team that comes in here with not a lot of experience, but a lot of poise. And they've been in some tough ball games here. And so far they've shown that they can run the football. What they want to avoid is making those mistakes.
He threw it pretty well there. Roderick Hall, his first attempt of the game, he picked up the first down, but the penalty erased all of that. So we got a 4th and 12. They're going to punt it away Here's the punt. Letting it go is Pal 6. That's a nice roll. And the Glenville A's down it at about the 6-yard line. So Pal 6 will go back on offense. They'll have 1st and 10. We'll call it the 5.5.
Well, the decision to punt the football comes back to what we talked about, Chris, field position. What they've done is put Pal 6 on the 6. What Clay Thompson's trying to do is establish field position here early in the ball game.
So Pal 6 goes back on offense. Excuse me. Eugene Dumas at quarterback. He's number 7. Walker, West, and Brown in the backfield. Dumas back to throw. Being rushed, and he's brought down in the end zone. That's a safety. And let's see who got in there. I think it was number 40, Tim, defensively. Might be able to take another look at it. Here we go.
Take a look here, Chris, and we can see it looks like right here he's been hit, and it looks like 40, but then it comes in and is it can't get a clear number.
I think it was Nate Henderson, Tim, number 72, the right tackle. They ran a stunt up front, and it worked. So Pal 6 jumps out ahead. Excuse me, Glenville.
Safety.
Jumps out ahead by a score of 2-0 on the safety, and they would also get the football.
Well, Chris, in the pregame, we talked about how Glenville A's all year has created their situations, create some turnovers. This is not the first time that they've had a safety. They recovered a fumble in the end zone. They've also had an interception. And right here, this game has gone Clay Thompson's way. We saw here early in the game, Chris, 8 rushes for Glenville, 45 yards. Pal 6, 7 rushes for 19 yards. So the ground game goes to the Glenville A's.
And Glenville back on offense. That's Sanders up the middle. Takes it down to the 47-yard line. Pick up of 3 with 5 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first half. Here at a very cool John Marshall Field. Perfect weather for football here on a Saturday night. Nice crowd on hand. We're going to have a special guest for you later on. I'm sure you all know who he is. Stay tuned. 2nd and 7. Ball at the 47. Almost caught in the backfield. Sanders breaks the tackle. He's at the 40. Outside. 35, 30, 25. That's a 22-yard pickup. Steven Sanders. Beautiful run, Tim. Let's see it again.
Well, we'll take a look at it here and give him credit. Look at the blocking. Cuts back across the grain, and you can see he's getting across the field. And again, it's all speed. He picks up one more block here. And again, it's 2 guys who are going to have to come in to bring him down on the 25-yard line. And a big first down for the Glenville A's.
22 yards. 1st and 10 at the 25. Sanders has been the workhorse so far here in the first half. Here's a handoff behind the right guard. That's about a yard pickup. It looked like Brian Smith with the carry. We'll call it a pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. We got 3 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the second quarter for the Peewee Championship, and Glenville is ahead in the ball game 2-0 via the safety by Nate Henderson. There's a handoff off right tackle. He takes it down to the 21-yard line. That was Brian Smith.
And Brian is a 7th grader from Margaret Spellacy School. Again, Chris, we've talked about poise, control. And when we talked to Coach Thompson before the game, he said, listen, the guy that really keeps us under control is our quarterback, Ricky Hall. And so far, everything has gone their way.
Got a 3rd down and 7. There's a handoff. Taking it down to the 20-yard line. And that was Mr. Sanders, I believe. We're going to have a 4th down. That's a pickup of 1.
Well, you can see her little cross. He fakes it one way, gives it to Sanders. And again, they're not going to have anything to do with it. Everything is keying on Steven Sanders. It was number 44, Levon Thornton, that came up with the tackle.
Got a 4th and 5 at the 20. And we got a flag down, stoppage in play.
See here was an illegal procedure against the Glenville A's. Now again, this is an interesting point. The last time that the Glenville A's were down here, Chris, they punted. Are they going to come back here and punt now? It's 4th and 10. Or are they going to go for it?
He's got Clarence Coleman and Lewis Jones at the wideouts. They're in tight. And it looks like they're in punt formation, Tim. Cal 6 will let it go. It's going to roll again. Deja vu, Tim, on the 5-yard line again. Just outside the 5, we'll call it the 6. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Pal 6 at the 6-yard line. We've got 1:59 to play in the first half. And we're at John Marshall Field. The Peewee Championships. This is the Cleveland Browns Muni Football Championship. We have 2 ball games for you. And there you see the score, 2-0, Glenville on top. And Pell 6 back on offense with 1:30 to play in the first half. Dumas rolling left, got some room, and he takes it up to the 27-yard line.
Well, Chris, we saw a little bit of a bootleg action. Everybody was going to the right. Quarterback bootlegs it and goes left. See everybody going right. He gets to the outside. And when we talked to the Glenville A's, they were talking about a man named Bayette Shropshire. You can see there, he comes up and makes a big hit, leaving him with a 2nd down and 1 for Pal 6.
Pardon me, that take it up to the 17-yard line. 15-yard line. 2nd down and 1. Here's the handoff. And he's looking to throw it. He's got him in! 40, 45, 50, 45. Takes it down to the 31-yard line. Antonio Samuel. They ran the flea flicker, Tim, and it worked.
Hey, the Glenville A's have seen nothing but run. One other pass earlier in the ball game. Right here, it looks all run. Sweep right. And again, you look here, you can see the arm of this guy. Number 1 comes up and he throws big. It looks like about a 30-yard pass. And then we get a chance to see Steven Sanders on the defensive side of the ball show some speed as he comes up with the game-saving tackle here. Again, there's about 1:07 to go here, right before half.
Antonio Samuel with the reception. And Pell 6 is in business. The ball rested at the 31-yard line. They trail 2-0 in the ball game.
Well, Chris, you can see here that the punts that Glenville A's did, both times they've saved them big. You don't punt here, it could be a touchdown. Again, we're looking at the officials, Melvin Galloway, Mike Jones. Veteran crew, hats have to go out to these guys. They've done a super job all year. All the officials here have taken a lot of time during the Muni football season to not only officiate the game, but also give the coaches the encouragement and the knowledge of the rules, as well as the players at times, and our hats go off to them.
That was a 45-yard pickup on the flea flicker, Tim. We got a handoff around left end, cutting it back inside. And that was Rashawn West. Clock running, 58 seconds, second quarter. Pal 6 trails 2-0. They have the football. That's a pickup of 4, 2nd down and 6. Ball at the 26. Dumas with a handoff off the middle, and there's stoppage in play. There's the flag. Official couldn't get it out of his back pocket.
Looked like DeAndre Vaughn got a quick start, the right guard, pal number 6. And again, you don't want to make the mistakes here. You got a nice drive going.
Got a second down and 11. The ball rested at the 31-yard line. Dumas with Brown, Walker, and West in the backfield. Got a full house. Dumas gonna throw it. Got a man over the middle. Got him. And that's the nice catch. That was number 80. Anthony Porch. Nice grab, Tim. He knew he was going to get hit by the safety, and he hung on.
Well, we'll take a look at it right here. Again, you know they're looking past 35 seconds to go. And again, you see steps up. Nice lead pass over the middle. Again, Glenville A's come up. Good coverage, but it was a crisp, accurate pass. And again, they pick up another 15 yards. Chris, with a few seconds to go, you have to think they're going to throw the football.
Well, you got 17 seconds left to play. Ball at the 16. Got to believe they're going to go in the end zone, Tim. That was a beautiful throw. You had the 2 linebackers in front, safety in the back, and then the cornerback following the wide out across the middle. And Mr. Dumas put it right on the money. And it all begins with the guys up front. He had all day to throw, Tim.
Well, you can see here, I'm sure that the coach is letting them know, hey, keep everything in front of us. Let's get some pressure on the quarterback. We've got 17 seconds to go. In case you've just joined us, you're watching the Cleveland Browns Muni Football Championships. It's the Peewee game. The defending champs you're looking at in red is from pal number 6. And in blue, it's the Glenville A's.
And Dumas brings him back up on offense with 17 seconds left to play. He's got a wide out to the right, man in the slot on the left. Full house, and we got a tight end on the right side. Dumas looks, fires, incomplete. Right in his hands, and that was number 6. Excuse me, number 5, Antonio Samuel, who made that great catch on the flea flicker.
I think James Walker is making a statement here. We're going to have to throw the football and loosen up the Glenville defense. You can see here he threw off the wrong foot this time, and again, it was a little bit of pressure. But again, 3 Glenville A players, 3 on the other side. They're looking past, and they're going to keep everything in front of them.
2nd and 10 at the 16. Dumas brings them up. Glenville trying to protect the 2-0 lead here with 13 seconds to play in the first half. He's got Samuel about 10 yards out on the right, man in the slot on the left. And they got a flanker out on the left. And we got a flag, delay of game. It's a big penalty, Tim.
Well, it looked like Dumas came up to the line, and apparently it looked like he was trying to audibilize into another play. And that caused them the penalty.
Same setup, same formation. Dumas looking right. Still looking, fires over the middle. He's got a man, but he overthrew it. And Dumas trying to get Samuel over the middle. And he overthrew the football. So it'll be 3rd down and 15 at the 21. What you like to do here is get as close as you can, maybe try alley-oop with your final play of the quarter. Dumas very poised back there. He's getting all day to throw. Offensive line doing a fine job. Dobson, Cole, Harris, Vaughn, and Thornton up front. 3rd and 15, Dumas. Being blitzed, throws, got a man, breaks away at the 15, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And I believe that is going to be the end of the first half. And it is. So here at John Marshall Field, we're at halftime. The Peewee Championship game between Pal 6 and the Glenville A's, and the score is 2-0. Glenville on top of Pal 6. We'll be back with the halftime stats right after this break.
We're here tonight at halftime of the Peewee Muni Football Championships, and here with me tonight I have two parents, Mr. Robert Grambrell and his wife Michelle. Thank you for being with us here tonight. But based on your attire, can you give us an idea? Who are you here rooting on tonight and why?
Okay, we're here rooting for the 7th graders. We have two sons that play for the 7th graders. One played bantamweight and the other one played midgets. And unfortunately, the midgets lost the game earlier, so we're here rooting for the bantamweight tonight.
Okay, with your two sons being involved with the program, how long as parents have you been involved with the Muni football program?
It's been 4 years that we've been involved with the Sims Raiders.
Okay, 4 years. Now, with the program being in existence for 75 years and your involvement being 4, what are your feelings about the program? Do you think they've maintained their philosophy of keeping kids with education and more positive things for them to do?
I think so. I think that it's based upon education first and then sports second. And kids have to understand that sports is a privilege, and like everything else, they have to earn it.
Okay, now I know as parents you have to go through a lot. I mean, there's a lot of practices and homework that still needs to get done and games on weekends. What are some things that you've had to learn as parents that you might want to give advice to other parents that are thinking about getting their kids involved? What should they think about?
I would mainly say stand behind your kids 100%, and all parents to remember that these children are our future.
Okay, well, I personally would like to give you a note of thanks for being here tonight, for all of your support and representing all of the parents that have been involved with the program, not only in the championships tonight, but throughout the entire season. So we do want to thank you for all those rescheduled dinners and all of that. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, back to you, Tim, for more football.
Thanks, Desiree. You know, we truly are true about the parents and their involvement and how everything happens. But truthfully, it's all a community effort. It's the volunteer coaches, the parents, as well as the kids that make it happen. And one of the people that really helps make it happen here tonight is one of our main sponsors, Mike Seton. I had a chance to catch up with Mike and had a chance to talk to him a little bit about why he got involved with Cleveland Browns Muni football.
We're here with one of the major sponsors of tonight's Muni Football Championship games. It's Mr. Mike Seta of Seta Trophies.
Hi.
Mike, how did you get involved in Muni football?
Well, actually, I got involved when I was probably a young teenager, which I played Muni football myself in the Clark Avenue, Tremont area. We were known as Daisy Drive-In and Browns AC at the time, and had to scavenge all our equipment, and it was nothing like PAL is this evening.
Some of the memories that we think about when you play back, Mike, you know, we had talked earlier about, you know, the kids leaving Muni football, going into high school. Can you share some of the memories that you had?
I think our memories was, and I know my memory was, I just couldn't wait to get to high school, and I felt that this was the step that would take me into high school, that would make me a level above the other kids, because we didn't really have that many organized leagues then, but playing every Sunday with the Muni League, I think gave me an advantage at West Tech, and this is why it was my dream to play for West Tech, and rather than even college at the time.
You know, Mike Seta, the West Tech player, I'm sure there has to be one moment during your high school career that kind of stands out.
Well, of course, there's a deadly moment. We played St. Ignatius for the championship, and this Madden fella from St. Ignatius and myself were kickers, and they did a paper coverage on us. And we both missed an extra point, and Ignatius tied us 13-13, and that was kind of my low in my athletic career. And then it was the last game, and a couple days later they announced the All-State players, and my name was on there, and it just really thrilled me.
You know what?
Thrilled.
We see a lot of the kids out here playing here tonight. What advice would you give a kid that's in this competition of Muni football?
I would say stay within your bounds. Stay within, not the role models of the pros. I would look for your role models. There are so many tremendous role models in high school. Mine was Mr. Perchlik, my high school coach, and Mr. Lazaro. You know, I would go through a wall for them, and I didn't even know Jimmy Brown. I didn't even know Bobby Mitchell at the time, but I knew them guys, and they were interested in me. They were interested not only in what I did on the field, but off the field, and they cared for me. And they were good moral men. So that's what I would suggest these guys. Stick close with your coaches. Listen to their advice. They're certified, and they'll lead you. They will not lead you astray.
You know, Mike Seta Trophy's involved a lot in the community, not just here tonight with Muni football. Can you share with our viewers some of the sponsorships that you're involved in?
Well, we've been for years. We've been sponsoring the Olympics, the Special Olympics down in Columbus, and we do a special bowling tournaments for the Cleveland Board of Education. These kids, they have nothing, and when they get this trophy, it's like a pot of gold to them, and it's just so. It's to look at them. It's just so enthusiastic to see how they react when they receive a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy, and that's the way it should be with these special kids. So close to our hearts at our store are the special children.
We sell thousands of trophies every year, and we basically are involved with sporting events, but we do range from horse racing to, like I said, football, baseball, wrestling, golf, you name it. We have many fine qualities at Seta Trophy, and I believe the top 4 are the price, the quality of the trophy, the turnaround time. We can make 1,000 trophies overnight if you need them. And our engraving on all awards is absolutely free. There's no charge, there's no fine lines in any of our awards.
Okay. We talk about business, Mike Seta, but more on a personal note. Scott, you were involved in sports over at St. Edward's. You share with our viewers a little bit about your sport career and what you went through?
Yes, I graduated from St. Edward's in 1987. I was on the state champion wrestling squad, and I was on the state runner-up football team. We practiced 5 days a week, rough practices, and you just got to stick with it. I believe the kids got to respect their coaches and just go for it.
You know, as a young business person now coming into the business world, what advice would you give the kids that we see out here today about entering into the business world?
Definitely to stay in school and really concentrate in it. It's really a shock when you get out of school to see what the real world is like. And school is definitely number one. You got to concentrate with school, take everybody's advice, good advice, and just, again, just like sports, go for it.
Many of the viewers that are watching this tonight might be interested in getting some awards. Scott, could you tell them how they can get in contact with Mike Seta Trophies?
Sure. Seta Trophy is located at 16806 Lorraine Avenue. Our phone number is 671-1660. Call us anytime. We're looking forward to having you come in. It's a relaxed family business, so there's no pressure.
Well, we'd like to thank Mike Seta and Seta Trophies. Scott, send our words back to your dad for all the appreciation that we have from the Cleveland Browns Muni Football Association for sponsoring tonight's event. Now let's go back to more Muni football action.
Okay, when we come back, we'll have the halftime stats for you. But we're going to go away for a little break right now. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Pepper Johnson, number 53 of the Cleveland Browns. Organized football played a very important part in my life, and it should in yours. And you're watching Muni football on TV35.
Stats for you. For the Glenville A's, Steven Sanders had a big first half. He had 46 yards rushing for a total of 66 for Glenville. And Glenville did not have a passing attempt. So the score is 2-0 here in the first half of the Peewee championship game. We're about ready to begin the third quarter. with Glenville ahead 2-0. And we're about ready to go.
Well, Chris, we've talked about a 2-0 score. And again, the Glenville A's all year have relied on defense in opportunities, and they created one earlier with the punt and then the safety.
And we're about ready to begin the third quarter, and we begin it with a flag. And we got a legal motion. So Glenville will have a first down and 15 at the 30-yard line. They're ahead in the game, 2-0. Handoff up the middle, Sanders. Picks up 2, takes it up to the 32-yard line. Sanders with a big first half, 46 yards. His team totals was 66. He was the main man. Only score in the game, a safety, Nate Henderson. Tackled the quarterback, Eugene Dumas, in the end zone. And that's where we stand right now with 6:30 to go, third quarter. And handoff right up the middle again. Nice play by the defense. That was number 6. Jason Walker with the tackle. Carrying the football was Brian Smith.
Well, it looks like the Pal 6 defense has decided they're going to try to stuff the run. When they come out and line up, you're going to see they have 8 men up front. So basically what they've done is they're going to try to take away their running game and make them throw to beat them.
Got a third down, 13 at the 32. No pickup on the last play. Here's Sandals around left end, nothing there. Gets away, 30, 35. Knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. And he was almost caught in the backfield by number 62. Let's watch it.
Well, you take a look here at the replay, you can see he's trying to get to the outside. Again, they didn't get a good counter block, but give number 56 credit from the Glenville A's. Ayete Shropshire stayed with him. And again, he doesn't pick up that yardage if 56 doesn't sustain the block.
That was a 6-yard pickup, so it'll bring up a 4th down and 7. They got to get the ball to about the nose of the ball to the 45-yard line. They're going to punt it. They have the lead 2-0. They're going to play it safe. Good snap. There's the punt. And the ball bouncing around at the, going to rest at the 47-yard line.
Well, Chris, we've talked about field position. This is going to be the best field position that the Pal 6 team will have on the start of any of their drives.
Well, other than the flea flicker, they really haven't done much on offense. They had a total of 66 yards total offense in the first half. It's been a pretty clean game. We've only had 6 penalties in the game, and for this age bracket, that's pretty good, Tim. Dumas at quarterback. He's got Brown, Walker, and West. Dumas with a handoff up the middle. Nothing there. May have lost a yard. And that was the carry by Jason Walker, the fullback.
And it was number 50, Charles Boyner, that came up and made the stop. He's a 6th grader from Patrick Henry. Coach Thompson had told us before the game we need a big game from number 50 for us to have a chance to win. And right now he has to be happy with the way the defense has played.
That's a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11. Ball rested at the 46-yard line. Dumas full house again in the backfield. Man flanked out on the left, man on the right. Dumas in the shotgun. High snap. Brings it down. Dumas looking. Being rushed. Now gets outside. 40, 45, 50, 45. Out of bounds at the 44-yard line. He's close to a first down. Maybe a yard short. Let's see where they spot it.
Well, when you looked at it, Chris, we've talked about Eugene Dumas and the arm. Right here you can see that the Glenville A's defensive end breaks down and lets him get to the outside. There it is, number 80. And again, a little block, gets to the outside and we get some speed here. Again, Eugene Dumas up to this point has been contained, but this is one time he picks up some big yardage, and it looks like a 3rd down and about 2.
Very close to the first. We'll call it 1.5. Dumas, the handoff around the left end, and he's got the first down. Takes it down to the 38-yard line, and that was Rashawn West. Tim, I'm very impressed. This is the first time I've seen the Peewee Football League. I tell you, these guys, very good athletic ability for their age, showing good speed. And for the age bracket, the offensive line very cohesive.
Well, Chris, we can take a look at it here, and again, you can see some good blocks by the PAL 16. Again, they haven't been able to run from tackle to tackle, so right now they're trying to look to the outside. Again, they pick up their first down and keep the drive going. And Chris, it really is a tribute not only to these coaches, but what's happened is back in 1986, the Cleveland Browns Muni Football League expanded into a midget division. And those kids now are starting at 8, 9, and 10 years old. So when they come up to this Peewee division, a lot of them that we see here tonight have been playing organized tackle football for 2 or 3 years. So a lot of the coaches that we're looking at here today have been real strong coaches dealing with fundamentals. When I talked to Clay Thompson before the game, one of the things he told me, hey, listen, it's a simple game. We have to block, and we've got to tackle better than they, and so far, they've done that.
Well, the great Vince Lombardi said that, and he was never more right. That's all it comes down to, who blocks and tackles better. Here's Dumas, got a man! That's going to be a touchdown! Beautiful throw. Eugene Dumas. That's that man again, Tim. It looks like Antonio Samuel.
Well, you can see here Antonio and Eugene Dumas hooked up for a big scoring play. There they are rooting in the stands. It's the PAL 6 Wolverines, but you can see here, nice strong arm. And again, he's left wide open. He gets behind Steven Sanders, and it's basically a walk into the end zone for Antonio Samuel. Comes up with the big play. Eugene Dumas to Antonio Samuel for the PAL 6 score.
Beautiful throw. And PAL 6 try to add on the extra point. Dumas looking to throw again. Got a man in the end zone. Touchdown. And Tim, the rules, if you throw the ball in, it's 1 point. If you run it in, it is 2. So PAL 6 takes the lead by a score of 7-2 as Eugene Dumas comes alive. Let's look at it again.
Okay, Chris, we're looking here at the replay. Again, it may have been called back. We'll find out, but you can see here he hits it, number 6. Jason Walker on a little down and out in the corner. But again, we're looking at John Jones, and there was a penalty on the play. But you're right, Chris, on the scoring, run it in or throw it in the Muni Football League is worth 1 point. If they're going to kick it in, it's worth 2. We will not see any kicks in this game, but there's a good possibility we could see it in the bantamweight division following this ball game.
All right, Tim, it was called back, so score remains 6-2. And the ball resting at the 17-yard line. Let's see what PAL 6 can do with it now. Dumas straight back, a lot of time. Looks, knocked away, nice play. That was 82 on defense.
That was Andrew Howard, 7th grader out of Patrick Henry. Came up with the defensive stop.
Left cornerback, nice play. He had a man open over there. So the score is 6-2. Here we see it. Knocks it down right at the last moment. If Samuel catches that, he jogs into the end zone. 6-2 score with 3:35 to play. Third quarter for the Peewee Championship, PAL 6 and Glenville.
Chris, when you look at the rankings coming into the game, PAL number 6 was number 3 in offense. The Glenville A's were right behind them, number 4. Right now, they haven't been able to move the ball on the ground early in the second half because PAL 6 is denying that. So it'll be interesting to see if Glenville does come out and throw the football.
Well, James Walkerton, you said, made an adjustment at halftime. Crowd the line of scrimmage. Daring Glenville to throw the football. As you see right there, nothing there. First half, Sanders went crazy with 46 yards. 8 men up at the line of scrimmage. They're telling Ricky Hall, you got to throw the football to beat us. That's a pickup of 1, 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 36-yard line, 3:05 to play, third quarter. 6-2. Pell 6, they're on top. Ricky looks to throw, and ball is caught. Short gain, pickup of around 2.
Well, we saw Ricky Hall come up and throw a little down and out. Again, he stood in there well, looked good fundamentally. We'll look here at the replay again. He had plenty of time. Steps up, makes a nice pass. Little down and out. I can't see the wide receiver that caught the pass, but it was number 22 that ran him out of bounds.
I believe it was the tight end, Timmy, Andrew Howard. Got a 3rd down and 7 at the 38. Here's Sanders, breaks a tackle, 40, up to the 42, 43-yard line. He'll be short. We're going to call it 4th down and maybe 3 yards. You can see right now, Tim, the Glenville A's on offense haven't figured out how to attack this defense that Pal 6 has come out with here in the second half. Little confusion on the offensive line. See if they can adjust, make the adjustment now. That's a pickup of 3. It'll be 4th down and 4. And Glenville trails in the game 6-2. They're going to go for it. They got a double on the left side, and quarterback sneak, he's not going to make it. Ricky Hall, I don't believe he made it. And Pal 6 holds on defense.
Well, we'll take a look at it here. Again, you can see they're looking run, everybody's thinking run. And again, there's a hole over the middle linebacker way back, but he comes up and makes a big stop. And it looked like number...
Josiah Cole was there, Tim. Also, Rashawn West.
Big defensive stand by the Pal 16.
Pal 6 back on offense. Eugene Dumas has the hot hand here in the third quarter. Fumbles the football. Ball was loose. I believe he fell on top of it. May have lost a yard, Dumas. Recovered his own fumble. Ball rested at the 44-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. 38 seconds, third quarter clock running. 6-2. Pal 6 with the lead and the ball. This is for the Peewee Championship. He's got Samuel out here to the right. Man in the slot on the left. Dumas being rushed. He gets away. 50, 45, 40, 35, 33-yard line. And I believe he's got the first down. Great athlete, Tim.
Well, Chris, you could see that on that play. It was Briante Shropshire that ended up coming up to make the tackle. 6th grader from Cleveland School of Arts. But again, they broke down. It was number 90, Terrence Hudson. You can see he gets his hand on him, but he breaks the tackle. And again, when Eugene Dumas has been able to get outside and not been contained, that's when he's been the most dangerous. You can see here an open field runner. Gets some blocks downfield by number 2 of Pal 6. And again, it was Briante Shropshire that comes in here to make the tackle, but after they pick up a first down.
That was the final play of the third quarter. So we're headed to the final quarter of the Peewee Championship game with Pal 6 on top, 6-2. And we're going to keep it right here. Tim, you might want to talk a little bit about the Muni Football League, how many members, how many teams we've had, how long it's been in existence, and give people an indication of how long this really has been going on.
Well, the Muni Football League is celebrating its 75th season. And Chris, the Peewee alone this year had 540 players involving 18 teams. we're going to see the Bantamweight Championship. It'll be next. But total this year was the highest number of participants that they've had in their history. 45 football teams involving 1,691 players. On top of that, we don't want to forget the girls. They've been involved with the cheerleading teams. We have 26 cheerleading teams involving over 300 girls that have participated on the sidelines rooting, and they had their competition just recently, and we'll get a chance to talk about that later.
All right, we're about ready to begin the fourth quarter. Pal 6 with the football, 1st down and 10. Dumas straight back, a lot of time. Goes over the middle. Ball batted down. Pass intended for Brian Patterson. And knocked away by the defensive back. That was Lewis Jones back there.
Well, Chris, you can see here that the game plan in the second half from Cal 6 is throw the football. Eugene Dumas is 4 for 6, 74 yards. Plus he's also carried 5 times for 20 yards.
Dumas sends 2 receivers to the left, men and slot on the right. He's going to blitz, and he gets away. 37-yard line. I thought he had him back there. Got away from number 56, it looked like.
So there was number 90, Chris Terrence Hudson, that came up to make the tackle. And again, they talked about his outstanding play. You can see here, they flush him out. And he gets to the outside, but this time Terrence Hudson would have nothing of it. Comes up, gets some help. And again, this time they didn't let him get to the outside, and they pick up a loss of 4 yards on the play.
It's going to be 3rd down and 13. We got a T in the backfield. Dumas straight up the middle, got a hole. 40, 35, oh, nice hit. Down at the 30-yard line. And that was Travis Brown with the carry. Nice solid shot.
And we've been talking about Vallette Shropshire. Coach Toles, hey, he's the kind of guys you dream about. They come along. My feeling is he's the best linebacker in the league. And we can see now why the coach feels that way. You're going to see him come up here. Good fundamental hit. Whack. Vallette Shropshire comes up with the big hit for the Glenville A's. 4th down and about 7 yards to go.
Dumas up the middle. Breaks the tackle. Still on the outside. And he's not going to make it. Brought down at the 24-yard line.
Chris, he was chased down by Steven Sanders, and making the tackle by Vallette Shropshire.
Well, we've heard that name a lot tonight, Tim. That was Rashawn West with the carry. Got away from one tackler. You see it here. Takes it to the outside. And guess who?
Mr. Sanders and Mr. Shropshire.
So we called his name so much tonight. Unfortunately, his team trails in the game by a score of 6-2. But they have the football with 5:09 to play here in the final quarter. And if you're just joining us, this is the Peewee Championship game in the Muni Football League. Ball batted down. Picked up out of the air. Ball picked out of the air by Charles Boyner as Ricky Hall got whacked.
You can see that the Pal 6 team right now, they've been here before. They know this is the championship. This is the series that's going to give them the title. They got to step up and play now. Don't leave anything left now in the locker room. This is it. And you can see right now the Wolverine defense has stepped up.
That's a loss of 8. Ball back at the 18-yard line. Ricky Hall at quarterback. Throws left, nothing there. Smothered. Back at the 16-yard line, he lost 2 more. Tim, great adjustment at half by the Pal 6 defensive coordinator. As we see it here.
Well, we see the Glenville A's here are going to call a timeout. And this is a good timeout here, Chris. They need to settle him down because obviously this is a big point of the ball game.
Glenville with absolutely nothing here in the second half. This is their 3rd series. And Pal 6 with a defensive adjustment at the halftime. And it's really paid off. They basically have told Glenville, beat us with the pass. And right now, Ricky Hall, he can't do it. You can see there the head coach, Clay Thompson, talking to his ball club.
Cal 6 fans, some of our crew that's been out here tonight making it possible. Again, Chris, we've been calling Ricky Hall all night. Actually, it's Roderick Hall. They call him Ricky. Roderick is a 7th grade student at Cleveland School of Arts. And his favorite player is Warren Moon of the Vikings. And I know right now he's got to be thinking just like Warren, there's been some tight spots he's been in. See if they can step up and do something here.
Now, Tim, even Warren didn't like a 3rd and 19. Ball at the 17. Ricky back, blitz on. Picked out in the air by Sanders, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. What a defensive stance by Pal 6.
Well, we can see here again another timeout has been called by the Glenville A's. And you're going to see here we talk about penetration. The Pal 16 does come up and make a big stop. Chris, their backs are against the wall, and one of the things that Clay Thompson had told us before the game, we don't want to get in 2nd and long and 3rd and long. Those are one of his concerns coming into the game. First half, it was all Glenville A's, field position, opportunistic football. Second half, it was Eugene Dumas and Pal 6 coming out, and now the defense from Pal 6 is just pinning back and coming right after because they know they have to throw the football.
Well, this is one of those instances, Tim, where the quarterback looks at the coach and says, "Coach, you gotta call for 4th and 25. I mean, what do you do here? You trail in the ball game 6-2. You got the ball at your own 10. You got to get 25 yards for a first down." Oh, they're going to punt it. They're in punt formation. And he gets it away. Short punt. Ball bounces at the 28, up to the 25, and taking it down to the 23-yard line. We'll get a number there for you. That was number 2. That was Rashawn West with the punt return. So Pal 6 in excellent field position. They got the ball and the lead with 3:27 to play here in the 4th quarter. Ball sitting at the 23-yard line. 3:19 and the clock is running. Tim, you know the coach, Mr. Walker. Does he play it safe here or does he go for the juggler? What do you think?
He'll throw it, Chris. Definitely going to throw it here.
Dumas, handoff up the middle. Nothing there. Stack them up at the 25-yard line. They may have lost a couple of yards. And we got a timeout. Glenville uses one of their timeouts.
Again, I think what they're going to try to do here is they're going to force the Cal 16 to throw, and I don't know if that's to their advantage, but James Walker, Chris, traditionally has always opened the game up. He's going to give you what you give him. So if they're going to give the chance for him to throw the football, he's going to take advantage of it. Obviously, everyone sitting at home says, hey, you don't throw the football here. You run it, you let the clock run out, and the game's over. Well, they need the first down. I believe the Glenville A's still have one more timeout. We're right at the 2:48 mark. And I'm sure James Walker is telling them, listen, hey, we need one first down and it's our ball game. And that's what they're going to be shooting for.
It's going to be interesting to see what Walker calls for the offense here. They're going to spot the ball right at the 23, so no loss of yardage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 23. Dumas. Here's a fake handoff. He's rolling left. He's going to run with it. 25. And he's down to the 21-yard line. Pickup of 2. Most importantly, Tim, he stayed in bounds. Clock is running. Nice move there by Dumas. 2:25 to play, fourth quarter. Here you see it.
Well, you can see they're trying to get to the outside. Pal 6 has been effective running the football outside. Not tackle to tackle, and give Dumas credit. Smart play, keeps it in bounds. Clock runs.
2:05 to play, fourth quarter. Dumas taking his, and he's going to take the delay of game. One first down here should really seal it. You got a third, and now it's going to be 13. Although Dumas has shown that he can throw the football, especially when he's rolling out. Dumas straight back, being blitzed, throws, caught. 25, 20, 17-yard line. That was Jason Walker out of the backfield.
Well, Chris, I believe that was a pass. And we looked at a little safe pass in the flat again. Looks to get it to the outside. And again, give the ball carrier credit. Kept the ball inbounds. Clock runs. Fourth down and about 5. And we've got a timeout on the field.
They're going to call it 4th and 6, Tim. There you see the score, Pal 6. 6-2 lead and the football. First down here, and it is ball game.
Again, Chris, while we have this moment, one of the things that we would like to do is send congratulations to the Cleveland Warriors as they captured the Midget League Championship earlier today over Sims Raiders by a score of 26-8. It was the Cleveland Warriors in the midget division. Again, those are kids 8 to 10-year-olds. A lot of them we'll see here next year in the Peewee League.
Big play offensively and defensively. Pal 6 get a first down here. They just about wrapped it up, and Glenville's got to hold them. Dumas was blitzed. They're looking to throw. Intercepted. Picked off by Sanders. And Glenville will get the ball at the 6-yard line. With a minute 35 to play, they got to go 94 yards.
Well, we'll take a look at it. You tell us at home, was this a catch? We'll see number 1 here roll out from Pal number 6, Travis Brown. Again, throws off balance. A lot of pressure by number 90. Did he trap it or was it good? I think the Glenville A's were hoping it was a trap. Clock would have stopped, better field position.
So Glenville back on offense. They got to score a touchdown. Sanders on the outside, nothing there. He lost the yard. Clock running, 57 seconds. Pal 6 is 53 seconds away from another championship. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. I think Glenville's out of timeouts.
They used all their timeouts.
They got 37 seconds to go, 95 yards. Blitz, in the end zone, ball fumbled. It's loose, and Pal 6 recovers. That's going to do it.
Because the official has ruled that it was a forward pass. You see right here, Dan Waluna saying incomplete.
Well, we got to see this one again, Tim.
We'll take a look at it. You're at home, tell us, is this a forward pass?
Is the arm going forward? I don't think so. That's a fumble.
Well, Chris, we all can give our judgments up here, but the only one that counts is the man on the field. The guy in that striped shirt.
You know, Tim, every broadcast we do, you always got to throw in your defense of the officials.
Well, you take a look at it here, you can see it's clearly a question that the official standing behind. He's got to make the judgment. Was his arm going forward? Both the official, John Jones, behind him, the official on the side that he was thrown to, both waved it as incomplete. And as we know, it's a judgment call. You can't argue the judgment, Chris, but truthfully, I'll go with you on this one. It was forward pass.
Oh, I can't believe you're admitting it. I can't believe it.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, like old Pete Franklin used to say, you can argue, but you'd be wrong anyway. So that was pretty obvious, but Glenville's in a hole anyway. They got to go 95 yards to win this ball game in 31 seconds.
You know, and Chris, truthfully, both of these teams come in and they played outstanding football. The Glenville A's, when you look at their overall roster with their team, it's a very young team. They've got about 10 kids that are playing out here. This is the first year that they've played organized football compared to PAL 6, where you may find 2 or 3 players that this is their first year. So the Glenville A's have begin to establish a solid foundation within their organization. Their midget, the Peewees, and the Bantamweight, all the teams qualified for the playoffs this year. This team here advanced to the championship with an overtime win over Sims to get here, and they also beat East Cleveland 13-6. So they've had a great season, win or lose here today.
They jumped on top 2-0, but it's been PAL 6 ever since. Sanders back to throw, being rushed. He's in the end zone. Intercepted! Touchdown, PAL 6.
Number 22, Jason Harris, 5'3", 94 pounds, 7th grader at Whitney Young, came up with the big play here tonight. Again, the Glenville A's were pinned back with 30 seconds to go. A lot of pressure on Roderick Hall. You can see here he gets hit as he releases the ball. And again, Listen, look, I'm trying to figure out on replay what happened here.
Well, that was the previous play, Tim, the one that we questioned, but maybe we'll see the interception here if we can get it for you. Nice play by Jason Harris. He was in the right spot at the right time. And that's going to do it. Score is 12-2. And this is just a formality here. 23 seconds left to play. And PAL 6 trying to put some salt in the wound. Here's the handoff, and we got a flag down. That was Travis Brown with the carry. Let's see what we got here. And I believe the preliminary call was against the defense, and it is. They're going to move it up 5 yards. The ball's going to be first and goal to go at the 1 yard line.
Look at the coaching staff. James Walker, coaches all season long, taking time out, teaching the fundamentals.
They had to go to overtime to get here, Tim. 13-6 over the Warriors. Eugene Dumas under center. And Glenville may have jumped again. First and goal at the 1. 23 seconds to play. PAL 6 with the ball. They have a 12-2 lead. Dumas, handoff, fumble. Rashawn West back at the 5, and he's out of bounds at the 3. So Glenville does a nice job on defense. Right now, all they're playing for is a little pride, Tim. They know they can't win it. 12-2, PAL 6 on top. They're going to win another championship for Coach James Walker.
And again, it was PAL number 6. They'll walk away, and you always hear that phrase, you know, it's easy to win the first one, but when you come back and you win the second one and everybody knows it, Makes it a little bit more sweeter.
They came from behind to win this one tonight. They trailed 2-0.
Yes, baby, number one, baby. See me with that second.
Cal 6 ever since. As Dumas and Antonio Samuel have been the big story here on offense tonight. Here's the pitch to Sanders around left end. 40, 45, up to the 50, down to the 43-yard. Ball's loose. And Cal 6, I believe, has recovered. 12 seconds to play, and that's exactly what it was. He fumbled the ball, Sanders. And Cal 6 will go back on offense and run one play.
Well, let's take a look at it. And again, you can see they've got everybody in there. It has been playing all night. The Cal 6 defense continues. Steve Sanders gives you a little bit of that young Eric Metcalf look, cuts back, makes the outside, ball kicks away, and it looks like Cal 6 comes up with the recovery. Well, it's been right down to the fourth quarter, a couple key turnovers, the interception. Now we have another fumble recovery.
Clock running, 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that's going to do it. Cal 6 are the 1994 Peewee champions.
Chris, we look here, and you know Wiley Farrier has to be smiling right now. One of the organizations that he really was dear to him was the PAL organization. He was a Cleveland policeman for 30 years, athletic director at PAL, and obviously this has got to be a special night, just not for the kids, but I'm sure Wiley's with us and looking down, and he's got to be happy. It's been a great football game. The Glenville A's have nothing to be ashamed of. They've had a great season. And we can see here the PAL 6 Wolverines. This has been their night. It was the second half that PAL 6 put together that the Glenville A's could not match.
That was Eugene Dumas and Antonio Samuel, number 5, the wideout. And Tim, we're going to have to pick MVPs in this game, both offensively and defensively. And there you see the players showing a lot of sportsmanship, which is what you like to see in this league. And it was actually Eugene Dumas and Antonio Samuel too much for the Glenville A's. And we'll be back to give you the presentations of the MVPs and some stats right after we come back from this final timeout.
Well, we've talked to the coaches, the arch rivals. Now we have a young man here that really knew Wiley when he all started back since 1956, Bill Taylor. Bill, first of all, before we talk about Wiley and how you feel directly about him, let's talk about some kids that impacted by Wiley that maybe some of our viewers might know.
Well, the one kid is Tim McGee that played for the Cincinnati Bengals, and Mike St. Clair, who played for the Cleveland Browns.
Tell us, when you first met Wiley, your first impression?
Wiley is my godfather, to be exact. That's the first impression. I got another father, and he was more than just a father. He was more of a friend than a coach, and he was a great guy to be around. He really made you stop and think about what life was all about.
Tell us, when we look at the Police Athletic League, you've been around him, around PAL. First love, obviously, PAL does a lot of sports, basketball, football, boxing, baseball. What was Wiley's really first love?
First love was, I would almost say boxing, because he spent more time in the boxing than anything else. He felt that was a way for us to get off the street if we had a violent nature. He taught us something special.
Did Wiley really have any special philosophy that he dealt with to try to get the coaches to get to the kids?
Yeah, he had one philosophy, and he used to tell you to assume the position. In other words, the position wasn't bad. It was just to grab your knees and bend over and Wiley do whatever discipline that he had to. But it wasn't discipline. It was a fact of making you understand that if you felt that you were wrong, you had to get some discipline. But if you were good, Wiley hugged you to death.
In closing, tell our viewers, obviously you've known him for over years, tell us what Wiley Farrier really is. Tell us what kind of person he really was.
When you say Wiley Farrier, you say, that's the man. Can't say anything else about him. He's the man. If you got footsteps to follow, those are the ones you want to step in. They were big, but Pal will go on, and we're going to try to follow whatever he had for us 30 years ago. We're going to try to do it now for him and keep his name.
Thanks, Bill. When we come back, we'll have more of Muni football action.
We're here at the conclusion of the Peewee Championship football game, and right now we have with us the MVP for the defensive plays of the game. We have Burrell Sharpshire, am I correct?
Barrett Sharpshire.
Okay, number 56 from the Glenville A's. And although you did not come out with the win tonight and you were playing against the defending champs, you had 8 tackles total for the night, and it was kind of tough for your team to get going offensively, but you were the one who stood out the most for the defense. What was one of the top plays of the game for you? What was your team thinking about? What were they going to try to do tonight?
They were going to try to win the game and try to do their best, but we didn't do it today. But we're going to do it next year.
You're going to be.
That's a promise.
You're going to be ready for them next year. Well, we want to congratulate you on your 8 tackles tonight, and good luck next year. And everybody can't win, but you're a great champ anyhow, okay? Moving on to our MVP offense, Mr. Eugene Dumas. Am I correct?
Yes.
Number 7. You had quite a bit today. You did a touchdown pass. You also had 4 for 8 and 81 yards in passing, as well as 8 and 22 yards in running. So you had a heavy night today. What was one of the most important plays of the game in your eyes?
The most important game was when they was winning 2-0 when we came out from halftime, when we passed it for the touchdown.
Okay, you did have the momentum going towards the end of the first half, and then second half you came out strong again. So we want to congratulate you. What did your teammates say to you? What were you saying amongst yourselves separate from the coach to get yourselves going?
I told the defensive players to watch out for 21 when he go out for the pass. Throw the pass when he throw the ball.
Okay, well, congratulations. And with you tonight, we also have the winning coach, the defending champs for the Cleveland Pal, Mr. James Walker.
Right, that's right.
How many years have you been involved as a volunteer coach within the Muni football program?
I've been involved for 8 years, and I've been a head coach for 2 years.
Okay, and this is your second championship?
My second championship and my second year as the head coach.
Okay, now going into halftime, because they did start gaining momentum just before half, and they came out very strong in the second half. What did you tell them at the locker room to get them going?
Well, see, it was like in the first half, we were trying to run the ball, but they were stacking 8, 9 men on the field on us. So we started to throw the ball right at the end of the first half. So when we came out in the second half, we decided to throw the ball, and it worked.
Okay, now throughout the whole Muni football program, what have you been trying to instill in the kids based on the history of Muni football?
Well, really, it's just been unity, brotherhood, you know, and a coming together of children, you know, like the Boy Scouts and the Boy Club. You know, we don't have as many anymore, but we have Pal football, so that's our chance to bring together some type of brotherhood.
Well, although we're here tonight for the championship, we would like to congratulate you definitely for winning 2 years in a row, but to give you special tribute as well as all the other coaches and your assistant coaches and working with the kids and giving them something positive to do and continue working with them in the future, okay? Okay, back up to Tim with conclusion of the Peewee Championship football.
Okay, welcome back to John Marshall Field. The 1994 Peewee Championship game just concluded. It was Pal 6, and they defeated the Glenville A's by a score of 12-2. We have some final stats for you here. Total yards, Pal 6 had 183 yards total, and they held the Glenville A's to 89 yards. Second half was the difference as Pal 6 came out with a 8-man front on defense and totally shut down the Glenville A's. Rushing yards, Pale 6 had 57 total. Glenville A's actually outrushed the Pale 6 team, but they lost the ball game. Not much difference in the time of possession, about a minute difference. As we told you, the final score was Pale 6 12 and the Glenville A's 2. And Tim, as we saw in the ball game, the difference in the game was the quarterback Eugene Dumas and the wideout Antonio Samuel. We have a second game for you here this evening in the Bantamweight division. It'll be the Bantamweight championship game. It'll be the Sims Raiders, and they'll be opposed by the Saints. And we won't tell you who the Saints are named after. We'll wait until game time. We have a little surprise for you. Tim, any comments on the Peewee game?
Well, first of all, it was a great football game. I mean, if you love defense, both teams gave us outstanding defense. We talked to both coaches, and they were both right. Hey, a field position was going to determine the ball game. In the first half, it was all Glenville A's. Field position, punting game, everything went right. The second half, the experienced team in Pal number 6 proved to get the field position, created a couple turnovers with the interception, another fumble, and everything went their way. But, you know, both teams have had an outstanding season, and Chris, realistically, you know, we'll come back again next year with the Peewee game, and it could be two different teams right here doing the same thing.
So Pal 6 ends up the season at 7-2. They are the Peewee champs, and Glenville goes home the loser, but as Tim said, they conclude the season at 6-3. We're about ready to begin the Bantamweight championship game, and we'll have the introductions for you right after we take this short timeout.
We hope you enjoyed today's game. Make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, TV20 Cleveland, and subscribe to get the latest videos. I'm Christian Patterson. Thanks for watching TV20 Classic Sports.